Welcome to the first tutorial in a series of tutorials on how to program a 2D game in lightweight Java game library, also using OpenGL, of course. And in this first tutorial, I'll be showing you how to download the necessary resources for lightweight Java game library to work, and we'll be creating a display window. Obviously, the first thing you need to create a game is to create a display for that game. I won't be teaching you Java itself, so you must have a basic understanding of Java and programming languages in general before you start taking these tutorials. But the first thing we need is something to program Java in. So what we're going to be using is Eclipse. So we're going to type in eclipse.org/Mars. Mars is the version of Eclipse that I'm using. Doesn't really matter what you use, but just use Mars. There's not really much of a difference. Then after you click download, click on Eclipse IDE for Java developers, 32-bit or 64-bit. Windows if you have Windows, of course, and click download, and the downloading window should pop up, and then click download it, use the installer to download Eclipse itself and open it. But since I already obviously have Eclipse, I'm not going to do that myself, but you can do that. Download the installer, use the installer to download Eclipse itself, then open Eclipse. Once you have Eclipse opened and loaded, you should get a window that looks somewhat like this. And you're going to create a new folder called Game or Lightweight Java Game Library Game, or basically anything you want. It doesn't even matter what it's called, but I already created that folder, and you're not going to put anything in it. Eclipse will put the stuff in it that it needs. So you're going to type in Lightweight Java Game Library Game, which is what I need mine, and then you're going to click OK. But since I already have it open another window to make this drill faster, I'm not going to wait for Eclipse to load. Once you have the next window loaded, then Eclipse should look like this, and you're going to close the welcome window and create a new, right click on this empty space on the left, new Java project game. Finish or enter. And in game, you're going to create a package. A package is just what we store our classes in, and this package is going to be called main. And in that, we're going to create a new class, also called main, but with a first capital letter, because that's the convention for packages and classes. Classes start with a capital letter, packages start with a lowercase letter. And now check this box down here, public static void main string args, and click finish. And once you have that, you're going to create another package for the actual display stuff. Display manager. Click finish. In that, we're going to have more stuff in that package, so we might as well just call the package rendering. So in our rendering package, we're going to create a class called display manager, which I can't type. Display manager. Don't check this box down there. We only need that for our main class. Then click finish. And stay in display manager and create a public static void create. Copy that function and make it another function called update, and another function called close. In our create function, we're going to do display dot come on, Eclipse. Oh, obviously, if you need to actually use this Lightweight Java game library, then you're going to have to import it into your project. So you're going to right click on game, you're going to do a build path, configure build path. Actually, we haven't gone to that yet, have we? Darn it. So go onto your desktop. Leave this how it is, we're going to need that for later, but go into your desktop, and I'll provide a link in the description for this folder here, and you're going to the lib.zip folder, and you're going to drag the lib out of that folder and put it on your desktop. Then you're going to drag lib into your Lightweight Java Game Library game, and you're going to open that, drag it into game, and all of this Eclipse is already generated for you. You don't have to create these subfolders yourself. And then you're going to go into lib and make sure that you have all these in your natives Windows folder and all these in your jars folder. And you should, because you already downloaded it. So now you can close this and we can do what we were about to do before. Build path, configure build path, libraries, add external jars, Lightweight Java game library on your desktop, find it, go into game, lib, jars, select all of these, click open, then go into Lightweight Java game library.jar, and natives library location, edit, external folder, then locate Lightweight Java game library game, go into game, go into lib, and click on the natives Windows folder, click OK, and click OK again, and then click apply, and OK, and now I can get back to what we were doing before. So in create, we're going to do display dot, Eclipse sometimes takes a few minutes to load stuff, display dot create, and surround the try-sys catch. Eclipse should automatically import these for you. If it didn't, you can do this by hand or hover over a red squiggly line and it'll give you corrections for that. So delete this comment here. In update, all we want to do is display.update, and if we want to sync it to a certain FPS so it can't go higher than that, then we're going to do display.sync 60 FPS. We're just going to sync it to 60 for now. I usually use 250. You don't have to sync it at all if you don't want to. It still works without syncing it, but you can. We can use 60 for this tutorial. So in the close function, we're going to do display.destroy, and in create, that's pretty much it for create. We'll do some other stuff later. But go back into the main class and do display manager dot create while not display dot is close requested. Is close requested basically goes to true if you click the X button on your window, and then it'll close display for you. If you have something after that, it basically just ends the while loop because it's not display dot is close requested. So after your while loop, we'll worry about the while later, but after your while loop, we're going to do display manager.close, the close function we just created, and now in our while not display.is close requested while loop, we're going to do display manager.update, and that should be working now. So click run, select main, and then click run, main in your hierarchy. And then if you have this, you've done everything successfully. Now, if you have that, you can close it and go into your display manager, do display.set title to anything you want. I'm just going to name it our first display. Do Control S to save it. You have to save it every time you run. If you don't save it, then Eclipse will automatically just tell you to save it, and that's still perfectly fine. If it runs and it says our first display up there, you've done that correctly, which you should. It should be pretty easy to do that correctly. Now, after this, if we want to set the size, you've noticed that the size of the display is always the size of our desktop in pixels, so we're going to close that and set it to 800 by 800 pixels now. So if we want to create our own size display, then we have to just create a new display mode. So we're going to create a new display mode and call it display mode, do new display mode, so width in pixels, width or height in pixels, width in pixels, height in pixels. So we're going to do 800 by 300 just as an example. Now hover over display mode and do import display mode from the Lightweight Java game library line. Save that, and after that line, but before the display.create line, do display.set display mode to display mode. Save it and run it. And now it has an 800 by 300 width and height display in pixels, and that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.